What is the soup du jour?
It's the soup of the day.
That sounds good. I'll have that.
Howdy how, party people. All right, quick recap. Gonna try to keep it under 10 minutes as I know everybody's busy. So here's this wedge that I drew out for you on Saturday, and we've been filling it out. Now yesterday we hit it right here, which is we actually closed above it. Huge level. Obviously China news was really bad, dropped all the way from open. This is the May low trend line, okay? And then we caught the bottom. It was really choppy. Remember, I had puts here. Now I wanted to speak about this. This is one of the hardest things to do as a trader, and I'm actually really glad I got to showcase it to you guys today. And that is changing your thesis and position and catching the move. Okay, so there's a few things going on here that's really good. As you can see right now, when we're in this pattern, you can play it off the Stow, okay, even more so than any other indicator in my opinion. Okay, again, we closed a little bit above it. Okay, we also created a new gap. We're still under this trend line here. So will the pattern repeat itself? This is how I played it. I took 0 DTEs that I sold. Also had some Degens up there. Took, what was it, 115 points on, I sold half of them. No, they ran more. I sold half at 80. I'm still holding runners. And I sold half of the 0 DTs at 80, then the rest above 100, whatever they ran. And I sold half, or I scaled some swings at 115%. And, you know, that was the move today, and we caught it, which was really awesome. Because when you look at this market and how it's going, this is all on purpose to create what's called clusters, big levels, and they do that before they push higher like they did here. And a great example is, of course, all of April. Remember I said it was going to be choppy? Doesn't get choppier than that. So that's essentially what we're doing, is we're filling out and testing this area. Now we've gotten terrible Apple earnings thrown at us, bad economic data, you name it, and we're here at 450, you know, or slightly underneath. So let me zoom in. Again, very risky to swing in this market. This could easily come down here, okay? But as easily, this can push higher and then back test and break. You might wonder what all this squiggly is. Well, we gotta zoom in for that. It's just something I had posted in the chat earlier today. When we were down here, I said possible path is this, back test and then go, which again, when you do like this, you can see creates a inverted head and shoulder. And that was the alternative path that we took. Okay, wonderful. Let's move to a different time frame. So that's Bank of Japan. That's the Joe Biden pump, the Joe Biden dip, the Joe Biden pump, the chop, losing this pivotal level, coming all the way down. So what we're going to do is we are going to draw the trend line here, ding, 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 and you will see. And this trend line right here goes all the way back to here, June. Okay, another big trend line. That's why you always leave the big ones there, because they always act as magnets. So again, huge spot, can easily come down or can break out. The big catalyst tonight is Chinese CPI. Now, Chinese CPI acts completely at random, and you probably know this since you've been trading, that it doesn't matter what it is, the market can react either way to it. I've seen it come in cool and the market dump. I've seen it come in hot, market goes up. I've seen it, you know, all kinds. China, as I'm sure you know, their market is pretty special. All right, another thing, let's go to the daily, and I will reveal to you what the actual pattern here is. And it's still forming. All right, this, if we go up tomorrow, but not over this, expect this to be a inverted head and shoulders formation with final destination that third week of August being somewhere up here. Okay, we still have that ghost candle to 460. All right, what do you need to do in this market? Few things. It's not this particular market. This is not May, June, or even July. This is violent, hard, tricky. All right, so you got to be in with that mindset. You got to be able to flip. You should play lightly so that if you get a good feel, you can just sit on it, because unless you're playing futures, this will chew up your theta, as you know. Okay, don't be swinging a bunch, base hits only, right? So today, prime example, the Nasdaq was lagging, or QQQ was lagging SPY. Here's the setup. How did I call this huge melt up at the end when we were even back testing this level here? Huge level. You can put it in at 446.64, you know, numerics again, and 8/8, August 8th. How did I figure out what was going to happen? It was actually this pattern that led me to slamming it finally. It was this: every time the VIX 1 hour goes through the 21, it goes further down. That's their pattern right now until they break it. So it looks like we should gap down on SPY and then come down again, but these can also give as soon as, because as soon as it's below the 89 MA, it will go fill this gap. The reason it stalled today was it had created another gap here. Okay, so again, watch different things. Another thing was Bitcoin had a pretty sizable move on, you know, bank whatever, blah 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 blah. But it can also be an indicator leading, as you know, because KRE was pretty strong, chugged straight up all day. Okay, still made a lower high, but still. The Volt was down and we still went up. Keep that in mind. I had this here. This got a stick, slap down, stick again. Let's see what's going on here. I was in Boeing for that move and that move. That was pretty good, but obviously the SPY trade was really awesome on this particular day. Now, again, I showcased this in my last video, and that is these RSI levels, especially on the daily, they do bounce from this area as we did. So again, I mentioned that being the first price target. Let's see if we get there. I like this cross today down here. Can we reverse and go even higher? Completely up to how the market makers play tomorrow. Okay, or the Chinese data per se, because yesterday China was selling, and then they reversed and went up. Obviously, we then, after they closed, we dumped. So let's see what they do. AMC had earnings, did not move. I played no earnings today. Oop, I just got an alert. Did the market open again? Who knows? 10-year yield, nothing special, still above 4. I would really like this to reject the 21 here and just come down. Doesn't mean that it has to do it, but one thing that happened today was that the 21 did cross the 100. So we'll be monitoring that. Dixie had a channel, tried to get out of it. Looks like it could be topping out a little bit, coming down for a retest, then possible bounce. Let's see. The most notable thing of this video, I've been complaining to you that this hasn't been really giving any clues while we've been chopping, and also yesterday, the difference between yesterday's close and today's close is this. I haven't seen any green here on the convergence in many days. There's been none of this. It's all just been gray or flat like this. None of this, none of that. Okay, so that's a change in character here. Another thing is we did get a ghost candle. We also got a ghost candle down. So again, we might be heading there, then back there to retest. I mean, that's a pretty huge level right there. That is the bottom of today before we rip higher. And I mean, these pan out within days, can be 1 day to 3 days, but they do pan out. So I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, this is the range we're in. Notable QQQ dark pool buying today, and if and also some flow on both. But again, let's see where it leads, because you slap on the 15-minute of the dark pool. They've been selling ever since before the whole Bank of Japan incident, and today intraday we haven't seen this type of buying. It's still small, but it could be them again making a cluster, making the levels, and keeping us, you know, around this region, because that Apple gap, and again, let me show you, when we were here, I was in puts on SPY, but when you don't get lower than 177.60 and you have a hugely important gap right underneath, someone doesn't, and I, you know, I've joked around about it like it's too obvious. Today it was too obvious. Okay, and that's quite the MACD double bottom right there. And again, this indicator is pretty good actually, that I put in the chat. It's called volume detection candles. I kind of dig it. It kind of bugs out on you, but you can see clearly when they are selling and when they are pumping it. But anyways, so Apple didn't do that. It got above the 9, the 21, and the 9 actually managed to get above that on the hourly. So we'll see. We could even go to the 89 and then it craps out. And again, the 89 is probably going to come down to this volume shelf here. And as you can see on the volume shelf, now we got plenty of bottom there, some resistance and a lot of resistance. So it's free to run all the way up to 184, but that should cause a rejection. But very interesting that the market did in the end go up on bad breadth. So again, something to keep an eye on. Tesla all over the place today, dumped up, you know, all that good stuff. Coin, I was in Coin for a while, got stopped out of that. Very choppy, didn't play this shitty ticker. This absolutely died. Congrats if anyone had puts. Is this gonna go higher? Yes, just wait and see. Okay, again, what is it doing? It's doing an Apple. It's retesting, and then see, it got rejected by the gap that we've covered extensively. That's what they do. Slam the gap, free fall. Okay, once we see its level, which could be either here, no, we went below that, it's probably gonna go down to here. That 38 level has a lot of volume right there. So that's gonna give a nice pop. All right, didn't play SQ, nice morning. Didn't play U, chugged all day. Made a very nice cup handle. Let's see if it's gonna do a stick. Nvidia absolutely shocked people with the upwards move and then got slammed down hard. They had some conference. Doug's been all over Amazon. Thank you, Doug. We all appreciate it. And as you can see, very difficult to trade today. Wasn't in PayPal. Meta had a crazy move and got slammed down. Look at this MasterCard. All right. Next time, please keep MasterCard on watch. Why? Because it has room to run all the way to 397 pretty easily. So that's quite of a move. So someone keep an eye on that. Rivian had earnings pretty flat, possible flush candidate. But honestly, in this market, I'm not playing flushes. I'm concentrating on nailing a directional move into CPI. All right. As far as tomorrow earnings that interest me is Disney and TTD. But again, then you have CPI pre-market, so maybe not worth playing, and you got Alibaba. As far as our chart, again, it's hard to pinpoint the day. Yes, we did go up. So tomorrow we have early up and a freaking super reject. Okay, so early up, super reject. I'll show you again. Tomorrow, our chart says early up, crater. Okay. Okay, now again, these are things that matter, just like the 89 MA. I mean, things you learn here that are very, very important that you should take into account when you trade. Okay, so we now have this and we have that, and then let's go back and make a conclusion. So we basically have that move, and then we have that move down actually to this level on the ghost prints. That's why that is a little bit kind of wrong, because it should, if you look at the level, go, shit, come on, man, are we drawing or what are we doing here? We should go down to here, right? Because that level is the same as that level. Okay, when we got a D3 there and a D3 there, we go long. So now I've brought you along the journey of the recap. Hope this makes sense. This doesn't have to play out like this, but there's a good chance it will. It would make sense. Now then you get your bottoms here and you're free to go. I know everyone is right now, big traders that I know are telling me that the bottom is gonna be this day. My problem with it is that we are right here and our chart shows us being significantly higher on this day. Okay, so again, trading's not easy unless you practice risk management and you know when to press the gas, and that comes sometimes I'm in a position, I'm just a few cons, sometimes I'm heavy, and respect your stop losses. Today, because of the chop, for instance, the options, yes, they yield over 100%, but the futures was the way to go. It was an insane move all day. Zing. So let's see if this plays out. It doesn't have to, because again, this could be CPI, or we could even be here. You know, this is all ballpark. But anyways, I said I'd keep it short, and I didn't. Thank you guys. Love yourself, love your family, and God bless. I'll see you tomorrow.